All right, so let's show you what we're working with. Now, I had a viewer that wants me to make meals with what we get from the food pantry. So, y'all know I just went to the food pantry. I go 3 times a month. And the reason why I go 3 times a month is because I also have neighbors and friends and a homeless man that I help out. And so let's see what we can make. So you can see all this came from the food pantry. We still have some bread. We have those carrots, chicken. This is chicken, those ribs. We have those breakfast patties that we got from the food bank. All this right here came from the food bank. Some stuff I do not know what to do with because like I said, with not going grocery shopping, we get what we get. So I will give you an idea of what I'm going to make today. We also got the butternut squash, apples, and onions from the food bank. So what I'm going to do with those, you can see my fridge is pretty empty. I got jelly from the food pantry. So I'm going to make a butternut squash soup. Now, I'm not going to go too much into detail on how I make it. It's pretty easy, but yeah, so that's what one of the ideas I'm going to make today is butternut squash soup, I think. Yeah, because I have vegetable broth, so I can use that as well with the soup. Alright, you can see here that I have diced up the butternut squash. I have 2 apples here, and 1 small onion. So all this came from the food pantry. This butter also came from the food pantry. So I'm going to use actually 1 of the sticks of butter for this dish. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to melt the butter into my pot. And then I'm going to saute the onions for about a minute. And then I'm going to throw everything into the pot with the vegetable broth from the food pantry. And we're going to boil that down until everything gets soft. Alright, you can see in this pot that I have the butter, the onion, the apple, and the squash, the broth, and I added 2 cups of water. So I'm just going to bring this to a boil and let this cook until everything is softened. This butternut squash soup, if you've ever had it, it's really good. And then once it's boiled, you want to let it cool. Now, I have a glass blender, so it has to cool completely before I can puree it in the blender. And when it's all done, I will show you what it looks like. So I am done making the soup. It made quite a bit, so I will be sharing with my friends and my neighbors and taking some soup to TJ, who is the homeless man that we feed and take things to sometimes. So yeah, it made quite a bit. You can see over here I have a big bowl of it. And then I saved the seeds over here because I want to dry them out. JD, you're okay. Sorry about JD, guys. So I want to dry them out and see if they will actually grow next year. So we'll see what happens with those seeds. So yeah, so there are some stuff you can make with the food pantry meals. It's kind of a hit and miss because you don't always get everything in one shot. Sometimes we have to wait to see what we get from, you know, each time we go, and then we can incorporate meals. So sometimes we're just eating rice and a vegetable. So alright guys, hope you enjoyed.